Hello, folks. Hey, man, Von Doom. I am gonna review a load of stacks of books, and I have a little minor announcement. I normally review books live. I normally do, and in fact, I actually did do that. But Google Plus and the internet was being complete and total fucking assholes. And when I looked at the video, it just was awful quality. The audio was just completely terrible. So I'm just gonna do a long video of just reviewing a few books. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I am not in a good mood. I mean, I locked myself out today, and I'm probably in the midst of a depressive episode because all those feelings of not wanting to live anymore and just wanting to stay in bed are all back in full force. And I'm a little angry too. So, let's get to started, I suppose. Five Ghosts number 10. I in no way, shape, or form can really review this at all. I mean, I don't feel like I can review this at all, honestly, because I didn't know what was going on. I read issue number 8, but I didn't read issue number 9, and I'm pretty sure I missed a lot of stuff that happened, and so I didn't really get to understand what was going on. They're on some island. Sinbad has the stones on her face have some sort of connection to the Dreamstone and Fabian. They're on just some weird island. Fabian made it out there alive, and he's heading to the island. You got this little really cool page right here. I mean, but other than that, I mean, they tell what happened with the ship. But other than that, I mean, I didn't understand what was happening in this. I was confused. I was lost. If anyone wants to fill me in, um, fill me in on Twitter or send me a message to let me know what I missed. So I can't really judge this. So Magneto number 1. Um, I would say whoever wants a digital code, let me know. But I gave it to Damien Sleepy Reader because I remember he really wanted to read this on Twitter, and I was like, I bought this, so let me just give him a digital code. He really wants to read it. So, and this was, I think, advertised as horror noir, and that's exactly what the feeling you get. You definitely get that noir feeling. I mean, the coloring, the penciling, everything kind of lends to that feeling right there. You can see that. I mean, so you definitely get that feeling. And this is pretty much Magneto is stripped down to his bare essentials, pretty essentially. It makes sense. He's stripped down to his bare essentials. I mean, I'm so used to Magneto and his little asteroid M and stuff, but this is him just bare minimum, in a hotel, old, out of costume for most of the issue, and pretty much he's hunting down people that are killing mutants. He's hunting them down. I mean, in this one doctor who is experimenting on mutants and stuff, he completely destroys him. He doesn't just kill him; he rips out his fillings, and he does this to him. So he's delivering his own brand of justice, Magneto style. I mean, and at the end, he finds another killer, and he finally does get in costume, which I like. I mean, really suits him. I mean, he makes his presence known, and right there, people find out that that is Magneto. And when he confronts the guy who was the killer, he finds out that the guy was pretty much programmed as a robot. They did something to turn him into a robot and kill a bunch of mutants, and that was. And when Magneto finds out, he realizes that he was just a victim, and he vows to find who did that to him. This was a very solid start, I would say. But for me personally, I just feel that like the environment that it's Magneto, but it's called Magneto no more, but it doesn't feel like something Marvel would put out. It feels like something you would find in an independent scene, to be perfectly honest, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But for me, I just feel like it just happens to be called Magneto. I mean, you could put. I feel that you could put Venom. You could put Eddie Brock Toxin on here. You could put Punisher, or and it would fit. You know, I just feel like the character is just happened to be Magneto by some stroke of luck. Other than that, but that's not a bad thing either. It's just a testament to the writing that Bonnet does. So definitely good. Um, Sorry, folks. I know my enthusiasm. I'm not exactly enthusiastic or any of this, but I'm really depressed as hell, and I just kind of forcing myself to do this. So, New Warriors #1. In fact, New Warriors #1 and 2. I have the digital codes for this. If anyone wants some, send me a PM, leave a comment, let me know. Um, New Warriors #1. Like I said, this is something that, you know, if it was $2.99, I would say, yeah, it's worth checking out. But I would say it's not worth $3.99, in my opinion. I mean, they should put the price back down to $2.99. Get rid of the digital code. I mean, it really is not a $3.99 book, in my opinion. This feels more like a $2.99. So, with that being said, I mean, pretty much the team is just forming. I mean, you got pieces that are some pieces that are still forming. I mean, Scarlet Spider and Araceli are still in Mexico. I mean, he's still really cranky and trying to get away from his life or the hero. And this chick, who's an Atlantean, pops up with a bunch of dead Atlanteans flowing to them, and she says she's looking for heroes. And Scarlet Spider thinks she's a villain and he goes to attack her. So that's what happens there. Sun Girl is kind of comes and starts defending Morlocks because the High Evolutionary is trying to exterminate them. Speedball and this guy, I can't remember his name, go to Salem, where it's just a magical community, and they get in a fight with those people because this moron, Speedball, just completely takes things for granted and instigate the fight when they were all good people. And they kind of clear things up, but then the High Evolutionary shows up and things get hairy from there. And this guy doesn't make an appearance, and that's pretty much his issue. The team is pretty much some members of the team are meeting each other, and they're kind of building a foundation. The High Evolutionary is the villain, and they're pretty much planning on exterminating any like mutants. Well, put it this way: this is a clone, demigod, mutant. That's human, inhuman, Atlantean, space being, and I don't know what you would consider him, but they're gonna planning to exterminate all those people and leave the humans there, and that's their plan. So the first issue is nothing. They have a good foundation, but it's nothing major. And we flip to issue #2, and I agree with the same thing. Like, it's definitely not worth $3.99. Sorry, folks. No, you just compelled myself. Okay. This is definitely not worth $3.99. Like I said, I mean, I enjoy it, but I just feel like I feel like Marvel is shooting themselves in the foot with this book. I feel that it definitely should be priced at $2.99. I mean, Miss Marvel's $2.99, and I think if it was priced at $3.99, it wouldn't sell. I mean, this one, I agree with this one. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot, but again, this is kind of more or less they're still building a foundation for the team. They're still building it. I mean, and like I said, they have a really good, solid foundation for the team. They have a good, solid foundation, but like I said before, I wasn't, blown away and thought this was amazing. What did he do? Sun Girl probably had the best moments for me in this. She really proved to be a really hero. She defends the Morlocks like crazy, and she refuses to leave them even when she's about to be killed until this horny guy, I said that, whoa, total joke, comes and kind of stands from a blast and saves her. And it looks like things are falling down until Speedball and this guy show up and defend her, and High Evolutionary realizes that they're completely outnumbered, and they retreat. And they end up kind of so pretty much these two, Sun Girl and this guy, end up meeting, and those teammates end up coming together, and they also kind of go to the Avengers Mansion and find out more about the High Evolutionary. Meanwhile, I'm gonna call in Namora, Scarlet Spider, and Araceli kind of are going at it. Scarlet Spider does get some shots on her, but she ultimately lays a smackdown on him afterwards until Araceli steps in and kind of uses her mind trick freak her out, and they kind of start coming together, and he's telling her, Scarlet Spider, what happened and why she kind of was seeking heroes, and Scarlet Spider's like, I don't care, I don't want anything to do with it, and so that's what happened. And at the end, pretty much their little part, the High Evolutionary comes and attacks them all, and that's pretty much what's this issue. I mean, they're still laying the groundwork for this. They're still laying a foundation for this, and like I said, they have a solid foundation. But I definitely can't say, if it was $2.99, I would say go. It's worth checking out. But it's $3.99. I can't say go check it out. It's good, but it's not $3.99 good. So yeah, that's New Mutant Warriors. If anyone wants digital codes, let me know. Forever Evil #6. These are old ones. These are old. Picked us up. It was really good. I mean, we find out Alexander Luthor's under the hood, and he's really insane and psychotic, and he can drain the energy or powers from other people to become the greatest hero in the world. And we find Nightwing apparently dies. Lex Luthor smothers him. And I don't believe he's dead. I just, for some reason, I believe that Owlman is still roaming around. I believe Owlman is just going to come up with some crazy idea to save Nightwing somehow, some way. I just have some crazy feeling that's going to happen. But other than that, I mean, we still don't know what the Red Lightning is and who that is. Alexander Luthor is on the loose, and he's psychotic. The crime syndicate is starting to take care of business. I mean, Captain Cold, just completely amputated one of Johnny Quick's leg, and Alexander Luthor killed him. I mean, Black Manta just brutally murders Alfred from Earth 3, and pretty much the crime syndicate starting to get things rolling, and this is definitely a solid issue. They packed a lot of things into this, but pick it up. It's really good. And don't let my lack of enthusiasm fool you. Just go check it out. Like I said, I'm not doing the greatest. Batgirl #29. People had mixed feelings with this book. Everyone had like some sort of mixed feelings with this. I mean, I remember I was watching not listening to Dark Avenger, and he didn't care for it. Some other, Roger didn't really care for it. And then Wednesday Serial cared, he thought it was really well done. I was Wednesday Serial on this one. I thought this was really well done. I totally, utterly enjoyed this. I mean, I'm so glad it didn't get interrupted. Focus. I'm so glad it didn't get interrupted. It's a nice change of pace from the drama and everything. And pretty much we lead off at the beginning, and Silver does some crazy ass stuff to get himself out of it. He slits his own throat carefully. He does his backflip. In fact, let me just show that. He does his backflip onto a car. Here he does. Onto the car, and then his car is loaded with machine guns. And when I saw that, I was just like, that is one of the badass moments that I've seen in comics in a long time. That was pretty badass. Really makes me like the villain a little more. And so that happened, and Barbara and Strix ended up, making her escape, although she had to take Barbara. And, you get a lot of interaction between Strix and Batgirl. I mean, that was really well done. And pretty much at the ending was fantastic. And what happens is, they confront Silver at his house, and you find out that Silver's mother died because she committed suicide, and all the blood went down the drain in the bathtub, and he thought it was vampires. And they fight. They have a good fight with Silver. I mean, Strix actually gets sliced in the stomach a little bit, and Batgirl was incredibly shot because Strix never happens with Strix. And Batgirl takes a tumble down the stairs, and Strix is about to kill Silver, but Batgirl ends up having to punch her to do that, to prevent her from doing it. And at the end, we find out that the little kid that he kidnapped can speak, and we find out that she's a vampire, and that she's the one who killed her father. And she actually takes a bite out of Silver, and sucks some of his blood out. And then Vampire appears at the end and promises to take her back to his realm. The only problem is Silver drinks and bathes in holy water, and she ends up burning up because of that. And that's how the issue ends. The Vampire leaves and Silver escapes, and it was very well done. I mean, Gail Simone did really, a lot of really little good, the little things in this, the interactions, and just a lot of the smaller details. Gail Simone just nailed it really well. I will say. I mean, a lot of the smaller things. I mean, things that you really don't maybe pay attention to that you look at. She did a lot of those things well. I mean, like the little thing, the interaction between her and Strix, and some possible things that maybe go down the road. All of this was very well done, and she did a really good job of introducing Silver. A really great job, because now I'm really curious. I mean, so he was right. Is he going to continue to hunt vampires? Is he halfway psychotic? Is he somewhat psychotic? You have a lot of questions. I'm really interested to see how they kind of answer those. So that's what you do when you introduce a villain. You'll reveal some stuff, but not the entire thing. Definitely check it out. Justice League 3000, number 4. And as I said this before, I'll say it again. You should definitely give this book a chance. It is funny. It's just something completely different from DC. And the cover is fantastic. Sorry, folks. And pretty much this issue, there's not a whole lot of action. It's mainly you get it's a pretty much an issue where you get a lot of stuff explained to you. You get a lot of exposition, and pretty much you find out that the Justice League, they're not really clones. That the cloning process took too long, and so they had volunteers from people. And what they did was they injected the DNA that they had from the Justice League. They injected those DNA from the Justice League that they had, and they injected it into these people. And by using that DNA and nanomachines, they accelerate the DNA replication of that. And the DNA from the Justice League pretty much overpowered the DNA of the normal human volunteers that came in. And they pretty much essentially erased those people, and they became the Justice League. And that's what happened. So in essence, they killed who they used to be. Those persons no longer exist anymore. And that is why Ariel Masters ran away from Cadmus. She didn't want to. When she thought about that, she realized that it was kind of going to be murder, and she was going to erase these people, and that's why she left. She didn't know that they actually went through with it, and so you find out a really horrible secret about their origin, that they're not really clones. They used to be humans that pretty much were erased in favor of the Justice League. It's a little similar, almost quite. It's somewhat similar to the way the HIV vaccine works, I suppose. So that's what you find that little nugget out, and you find out that the Printed Planet are just pretty much a front for the Covenant, and so it looks like the Justice League are gonna end up fighting that and Kylie, I recall. Additionally, the Flash and he brought back the Flash to life, and he has all the memories from being dead. And Firestorm comes back too, which I'm really eager to read. You can't tell, but I'm really eager to read, and I'm really willing to see where this goes. And additionally, Locust and Green Lantern kind of get into a little fisticuff. Really good interaction there, but she's so powerful. She pretty much overpowers Green Lantern and leaves him in space to die without his cloak. And that was just 2000. Definitely, I would recommend checking this out. I mean, this issue in particular gives you so much exposition. I mean, you do give you so much exposition about everything, so check it out. Um, Aphrodite IX, and I want to be honest, folks. I can't, in good conscience, say everyone go and read this and go and pick this up, because you're not gonna understand what's happening. I would recommend going back and picking this up in trade, because it's too late now. I mean, this is ending in 2 issues too, and pretty much everything's coming to a head. The 2 warring factions, the scientific faction and the religiously crazy faction. The religiously crazy faction pretty much created this gigantic beast, flying beast, and they're pretty much looking ready to lay a final attack on the scientific faction. and they're gonna go into war with them. So they're ready for battle and ready charging them. Meanwhile, the Aphrodites, there was more than one Aphrodite IX, and they have a bunch of these cyborgs that are floating around in space now that are being awoken, and they think of themselves as gods, and they're pretty much connected to this AI called Mother. And they have their own plans that they're going to come up with to try. I think they're going to try to conquer the world. So you have those little warring factions that going on of the other androids. Additionally, her and Aphrodite 15 get into a fight because Aphrodite 15 was going to kill an innocent child. And, sorry, folks. It's really. Sorry. Anyway, they're warring factions, and they are going to come after them. I lost my train of thought, folks. I'm sorry. Sometimes I have trouble concentrating when I'm not up to par or feeling great. Where was I? Warring factions. Aphrodite 9 and 15 get into a fight. Aphrodite 9, a good cyborg fight or android fight, and Aphrodite 9 ends up not decapitating her because, and it turns out that Aphrodite 15 was being controlled by one of those once floating androids in space that are planning on coming to Earth. Additionally, Aphrodite 9 comes back online. Pretty much, she's gonna ends up being controlled by this also human being Birch, who I just want to see him bite the bullet. And that's how it ends. So a lot of things are coming to a head in this, and it's a really good issue. I wish more people read it besides Stephen McKee. I wish more people read it so I can talk to this, but that's really it. I mean, check it out in trade. It's too late now. Excuse me, folks. Okay. Harley Quinn number 4. Harley Quinn number 4 is it's like I said, it's kind of like I feel like all these Harley Quinns are like one shots essentially. I mean, they have like this little crazy adventure, and the only thing that's really tying them together is this whole thing of where she lives, and this whole thing about someone putting a hit on her. That's really the only thing that's tying these books together. It's not a bad thing. I mean, this was a really fun, entertaining book. I will say. I mean, pretty much it starts out with Harley Quinn is, she's at her day job counseling someone, and she finds out that this old lady is, her family doesn't come to visit her, and so that doesn't, she's really sad about it, and Harley Quinn doesn't take that too kindly, and as shown by the cover, she confronts that family hardcore. And of course, when you read the issue, at the end of it, put this way, the family doesn't die, but Harley Quinn, fails to realize something. She fails to realize something. She completely forgets something and fails to realize something about that. Something wasn't right with the old lady. And when that happens, it's like typical Harley Quinn. It's like, oh, she forgot the one really important detail. But the family, they get their asses handed to them, but they don't die because of that. Additionally, you also get someone try to kill Harley Quinn again. And at this point, it's like Harley Quinn kind of pretty much knows the deal. She's like, okay, let me play along. And at the end, she ends up stabbing him with a fork, which is why you got that fork right there on the cover. And that's kind of like becoming a running gag now. It's like, she has this adventure and someone tries to kill her. It's kind of like it's starting to become very formulaic, I will say, which I'm kind of not having a good thing about it. I enjoyed this issue for what it is, but I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to take one shot, kind of like these really wacky. Not the wacky stories I don't like. It's just the cohesiveness. I want a little more cohesiveness, I suppose. I mean, that's really it. But it was a solid issue. I mean, if I would say definitely worth checking out. So, Harley Quinn number that. And those are my reviews for these books. I mean, that's it. And I was also gonna do like a really, really minor announcement. I mean, I tried doing, I did this live, and I just did not care for the quality. I thought it was crap. So I want to do a minor announcement, which it's nothing major. I'm not leaving YouTube, although every time I get like this, I always feel like leaving YouTube. I mean, I always get that feeling I should just leave and stop making videos. It's not worth it, whatever. I'll be honest, I didn't say I feel like that now. I mean, today has not been a good day at all. I mean, just literally got up and, oh, God. It's just one of those. And so I'm hoping this, because I'm a rapid cycler. Okay, I mean, I've said this in one video before, I'll say it again. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder type 2. I mean, I was diagnosed with that. I'm not happy about it. I mean, I'm doing better than I was last week when I first got that diagnosis. And, last week I just had like an identity crisis, and I was just really angry and depressed about it. I'm a little more accepting, but, it sucks. So yeah, I have bipolar disorder type 2, and I just really hope this depressive episode does not last that long. I don't know if I can go through another. I don't know if I can go through another, 3 months like like the last one that I had that everyone saw on YouTube. I don't know if I can go through that again. But enough about that. No one cares about that or whatever. So be that as it is. The minor announcement is that the epic moments in comic book videos that I've been doing are gonna end. They are coming to an end. It's coming to an end, and it's not because I don't enjoy doing them or whatever. It's not because of that. It's mainly because I'm going to pharmacy school in the fall, people. It's a professional school. It's a professional school. I had to go in and really be all in on this. And I could see myself reviewing videos, doing review videos, and, doing review videos and doing haul videos and stuff, but I just do not see myself being able to do an epic moment in comic book videos. Because for me, those videos are special, and I like putting out extra thought and effort into them. People may not think that I don't. They think I just go and whatever. I don't. I like putting thought and effort into them. I think about them. I like doing that, and because I'm gonna be going to pharmacy school in the fall. I'm not gonna definitely not gonna have the time to do that. So anyway, the epic moment in comic book videos are coming to an end. I have about 3 months, like April, May, June, July, April, May, June, July, and like maybe August, about 4.5 months to kind of wrap things up with that. So, and there's probably going to be about three more. There's going to be 3 more videos left. 3 more. So there's going to be 3 more Epic Moment comic books left before it ends. And when I say ends, I mean it's I'll probably maybe do one. I could see myself doing some 1 or 2 during winter break, or maybe Thanksgiving break or spring break or something. Like, I could see myself maybe doing that, but it's not going to be monthly, because I do those monthly. It's not going to be monthly. It's going to be very sporadic at best. And so I just thought it's gonna end. And for those people who have been watching that, and you would know that I have like a little storyline going at every time I do the issues and review that book and kind of talk about it. I have like a little story arc going at the end of those, like a little story. And in fact, I written, I have wrote what's gonna happen at the end of all of these. I have all of these. this here and the back. I have down what's going to happen in the next one, what's going to happen in 17. I have the lines, some of the lines written down. I mean, it's, at least if it's close to the line, it's fine. And what's going to happen and everything, it's going to happen at the end of those little stories that I put at the end of those videos. So I already know what's going to happen, and I wrote this, and folks, I ended up writing this in 15 minutes. I mean, I wrote this in 15 minutes, and some people who watched the live video, I mean, I wrote this when I was in a state of hypomania, or mania/hypomania. The difference between bipolar 1 and 2 is that I don't lose touch with reality. I'm pretty sure I came pretty damn close a few times, but I don't lose touch with reality, you know. And I'll probably make a video on how I reacted to when I was diagnosed, and how hypomania is and what it is exactly, and how I experienced it. I'll probably make a video on that. But I wrote this in when I was really hypomanic. I mean, I was just really energized and really ready to go. And when I'm hypomanic, one of the things that happens is that I have a shitload of ideas that just come to my head. A lot of crazy ideas just start coming to me like crazy. I mean, it's insane, and in words. And when I got this, I mean, when I was like that, a bunch of ideas on how to do the next three, just came to me like crazy. And lines and everything just ended up coming to me. And when I wrote them down, and when I look at them now, I can pull this off. This works. So yeah. So yeah, that's the announcement. Epic Moment in comic books. There's going to be 3 more left, and then it's going to end. And for those of you who don't know, I just got this. For those of you who have seen my my for my little thumbnail and stuff. For those of you who have seen my thumbnail and my little thing on little Google Plus thing, and my little thumbnail on YouTube, you'll see that I have this. It's the Dragon Dagger from Power Rangers. I like it. The handle, all the gold parts here are metal, and they're actually gold plated. Apparently 24 karat gold plated. And so all that's metal, and this entire stick right here, this entire thing right here, from here to here, that's metal. So, I mean, when I took it out, it's heavy. It's heavy. It's actually a little heavy, actually, because this part is metal. And this part's metal, so it's like, and it just looks really badass. I mean, and the reason fact, and also does some cool things as well. I mean, for example, anyway, the reason I show this, is because I and this is a lot bigger than it looks too. But the reason I show this is that I have some plans for this. I have some plans for this, folks. I have some plans for this Dragon Dagger. I mean, I don't have an origin story, but I have some plans for it in the Epic Moment in comic book videos. So that's why I show this right now. I have a plan for this, and that's really it, folks. So yeah, that's my reviews. That's the minor announcement. I really, really hope that my medication starts kicking in, because I mean, right now they're starting me on a low dosage, and they're kind of gradually working it up, so my body can. So there's a less chance that I'll have a reaction to it, and my body can tolerate it. And so they're starting it slowly and working it way up, and I'm hoping that it works, because it is kicking it's kicking my ass right now. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I mean, and I really hope this episode of depression just I really, really hope that it ends fast. I mean, because I really hope. Thanks everyone for watching, and sorry this video probably sucks.